Something you long believed to be true but realized wasn't.
Well, as one of the main opponents of the Illuminati, I always wanted to know what information they had that we didn't.
Now we finally have an update on the drowning death of Malcolm-Jamal Warner. Now, according to ABC7, they stated that Malcolm-Jamal Warner had drowned while he was on vacation in Costa Rica. Now, the article goes on to say that Warner had drowned off the coast of Costa Rica on Sunday.
Life, it's fragile, and in the blink of an eye,
you never know.
You never know. So speaking of legacy, what do you hope that your legacy is going to be?
There is part of me that I will be able to leave this earth, knowing and people knowing that I was a good person.
Katt Williams has been saying for years that if you don't follow Hollywood's rules, especially as a black man, they'll push you out. Looking at Malcolm-Jamal Warner's career, that starts to make sense. Malcolm didn't chase fame, and he even turned down roles that made black men look silly. He refused to put on a dress or act like a clown just to get parts, and because of that, Hollywood sidelined him. Not because he lacked talent, he clearly had it, but because he wouldn't play along. Now that he's gone, all these media outlets and celebrities are suddenly calling him a legend, talking about how underrated he was. But where was that love when he was alive? Where were they when he was doing honest work on his own terms? This isn't about conspiracy theories for clicks. It's about patterns. Katt Williams has been calling this out for years, warning how the industry treats people who say no. So let's talk about what Katt Williams has been exposing, what Malcolm stood for, and why the praise only showed up after his death.
Because I spent so much of the early part of my life listening to, being celebrated on one hand, but paying way too much attention to the naysayers.
Malcolm-Jamal Warner, best known for playing Theo Huxtable on The Cosby Show, tragically passed away on July 20th, 2025. He was on a family vacation in Lemon, Costa Rica, swimming with his 8-year-old daughter when they got caught in a dangerous rip current. The beach is known for strong currents and often doesn't have lifeguards on duty. That day, no lifeguards were there because resources had been moved to other beaches after recent incidents.
These are the first things we saw when we pulled up to the beach. Signs in Spanish and English warning people about potentially hazardous conditions. This sign even giving a roadmap for how to escape a rip current.
Nearby surfers saw Malcolm and his daughter struggling in the water. One surfer rescued the little girl while another tried to save Malcolm. Unfortunately, by the time first responders arrived, they couldn't revive him. Malcolm died of asphyxia by submersion. The man who tried to save him was taken to a nearby hospital in critical condition. Later, Malcolm's autopsy confirmed that his death was an accident.
Rican Beach, where officials say a dangerous rip current swept away Malcolm-Jamal Warner, the Cosby Show star, drowning in secluded paradise on Sunday.
What makes that beach so treacherous?
It's similar to other beaches where there are strong rip currents that are deceiving.
Mike Geist helps run a volunteer lifeguard organization here. He says while no lifeguards were on duty that day, Geist's friend, who happens to be a trained lifeguard, was there to surf and discovered Warner unresponsive in the water. Costa Rica's Red Cross says they were able to rescue another man alive who was taken to a clinic in critical condition.
Rica, Jesse, officials say Warner's autopsy is now complete.
It was completed this morning, according to authorities, Tom, and they say that it confirmed that Warner's drowning death was, in fact, an accident.
Malcolm's death hit hard because he was one of the rare Hollywood child stars who grew up without scandals or compromise. He was a self-made multimillionaire, Emmy-nominated actor, Grammy-winning musician, talented poet, director, and social activist. He was happily married, never divorced, and a devoted father with no kids out of wedlock.
So even before conception, we were very clear we were having a girl. And I knew that I needed a girl first to kind of ease me into it, because I have a pretty good idea of what kind of father I would be. So I needed a girl to kind of, slow me down and warm, soften me up, if you will. So for me, raising my daughter, I came into fatherhood already with a certain maturity and certain understanding of male-female dynamics. And with a girl, all of that starts with the father. So I've always, since I literally pulled her out of my wife.
Malcolm was loved by almost everyone who ever worked with him. He showed how a real, secure man moves in this world. Then suddenly, after 54 years of good health, he dies in a freak accident while enjoying paradise with his family. The only sad part about his life was that it ended too soon. But Malcolm truly lived a beautiful life and set an example for others. Still, we need to talk about how Hollywood ignored him while he was alive and how Katt Williams' warnings match this moment. Malcolm didn't fall off. He just didn't play the Hollywood game. After The Cosby Show, he could have done big network shows, loud sitcom roles, or slapstick movies. Instead, he stayed low-key and intentional. He refused to take on roles that made black men look stupid or cartoonish. No dresses, no clown acts, no stereotypes. He wanted to show something real.
Some of us make choices. I think it's not a biggest choice for others. I'm saying at the end of the day, Kevin doesn't have to worry about what people are going to say about him wearing a dress because of the long line of dress-wearing people before him. So now we have Big Mama's house 1, 2, and 3. Yeah. I've never seen Madea in a pantsuit. I think she wears dresses. So now I'm saying, why are we picking on poor little Kevin Hart? Because it was his turn next. Some of us are against the Illuminati, and we are against the Illuminati at our own detriment. When people are against the Illuminati, then they get punched in the face all the time. The press hates them, and nobody likes them. End quote.
We all love Dave Chappelle.
Exactly. Dave Chappelle has never been a part of the Illuminati. They don't want him or me or people like us.
Katt Williams made the same choices. He turned down fat suits, wigs, and loud coonery. Because of that, people labeled him as difficult, crazy, or unreliable.
There has never been a person that has been parodied 9 times on Saturday Night Live and yet never been invited other than me. I, at this point, take it as a badge of honor that they don't fuck with me. A lot of times when people are doing an impression of you, they're really showing you how they feel about you. You know what I mean? So for Saturday Night Live to have an impression of me and have a woman do that means they think I'm a bitch. And I understand that that's what they're saying when they do that. I understand how the game goes, and I understand that if you love me, I know why you do. And if you don't with me, I understand why.
Malcolm was talented, disciplined, and smart. But because he didn't fit the formula and wouldn't sell out for the camera, Hollywood kept him on the sidelines. Malcolm didn't care about Hollywood's approval, though. He started a podcast called Not All Hood, where he often criticized how Hollywood and mainstream media portray black people as if they're all the same.
For the title is combating the narrative of black life, black culture that the media focuses on. And
that we're all one thing.
Yeah, and the whole concept is, we're not all hood. The black community is not a monolith.
Instead of giving in to Hollywood's demands, Malcolm chose projects focused on social justice and education. He produced and acted in plays and documentaries about black history and systemic racism. In 2021, he wrote an op-ed for the Television Academy, pointing out that white network executives, writers, producers, and directors are the gatekeepers of black images on television. Malcolm wrote, "During the cycles where the gate hinges loosen lightly and black creatives are given some input and illusion of control, the stereotypes often continue, even if the black characters are given professions and higher socioeconomic status." Malcolm also criticized modern rap and hip-hop for its misogyny and toxic masculinity, pushing for more accountability and healing in the community.
There should be a moratorium on both of those words in hip-hop because it's low-lying fruit, it's so easy, everybody fucking does it, to the point that it's corny. Like there are MCs who I love, who I cannot listen to anymore because I love J. Cole. But I had to stop listening to J. Cole because I got tired of hearing nigga and bitch
as much as
every 2 sentences, because he's proven himself to be such a incredible lyricist
That you think it's just too low-hanging fruit for him to use those words.
I feel like
when the big Kendrick versus Drake beef went viral last year, Malcolm didn't hold back. He criticized how hip-hop only seems to get attention when it's promoting something negative.
And Drake beef, which, you know, they talk about how much they hate each other and give all these references to violence and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Do you think, even though we enjoy those songs and they're bops, do you think that has a detrimental impact upon the culture ultimately?
Ultimately, yes. It's been normalized for, you know, us to call ourselves the N-word, right? And we like to talk about how we've taken the power of that word back. But I'm of the school of thought. If I'm trying to speak love and upliftment to my brother, why am I going to borrow a word from people who use the word because they hate me? But we get caught up in, oh, well, we're turning the N-word into a positive. But our music is not reflecting positivity, love, and upliftment of our culture. And we're at a point now where so much of our, especially our music, so much of our black music, when you strip away the music and just listen to the lyrics, so much of our black music is really anti-black.
Oh, you think so?
When you think about it, think of, you know, I mean, you almost cannot have hip-hop without talking about drugs, using the N-word, and murking somebody.
Right.
You know, or calling a female, you know, a bitch or a hoe. Like that's become such we've normalized that so much that I think we need a space where we can say, wait a minute, wait, that's not all who we are.
This is exactly what Katt Williams means when he says the industry only lifts you up when they can control the narrative. Malcolm wanted to show black men as smart, real human beings. People expected him to stay the teen heartthrob or take on goofy side roles, but he refused. He said no to a lot of work that would have made him more famous but less respected. Meanwhile, other black actors from the same era leaned into stereotypes and chased big checks. Some made it work, but that wasn't Malcolm's path. He stayed true to himself, and it cost him opportunities. In interviews, he hinted that his team told him he was too serious and not marketable enough. Basically, you're too black, too smart, too principled, so they stopped calling. This is exactly what Katt Williams has been saying for years. If you refuse the humiliation rituals, they erase you.
I don't care how people feel about the ritual. It's about does following the ritual work. Yeah. And so you can fool yourself into thinking there isn't one, but the evidence will be clear. So like when I be like, oh, these guys are wearing dresses. Everybody's like, oh, he keeps talking about people wearing dresses. No, it's not.
That is a weird thing.
It's not like that. Look at it from a different way. Look at it. Show me one person that ever wore a dress in Hollywood unsuccessfully.